Morning, everyone. I guess it's not morning, but afternoon. We're just going to wait for a few more people to hop on before we get started with youth group. So bear with me. I hope everybody's Easter weekend was good. I hope you had a good Easter service. And we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. We're going to continue on our series with Tim Tebow, Shaken. And it's going to be super fun. I hope a bunch of people hop on. If not, we'll continue this anyway as it's recorded. So we're just going to wait a few more minutes and we'll get started. All right, here we go. We're going to play biblical charades. I'm going to give everybody one here, and I'm going to start with Patrick because he's the first on my list. All right, Patrick, I sent you a private message, and you need to act that out.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
I don't have a picture for Patrick. It's
I
just
know he's got to turn his camera on.
Turn your video on.
I'm preparing. Am I allowed to use object?
Yeah, just not your voice.
Okay. Okay.
All right, here he is. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm going to share my screen. No, I can't share my screen. I'm going to set a timer so you guys can hear it. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. You got 5 minutes starting now.
5 minutes. A long time.
What are you doing?
This is it.
Flag dancing.
Covered by the Holy Spirit.
It's biblical. It's biblical.
Being baptized.
1 sec. Oh gosh. I use words. It just kind of goes like
He reminds me of a person.
I can't do this line.
He reminds me of Buffy.
Just those are words.
Anybody have a guess? You got 2 minutes.
Being covered by the holy blanket.
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, no.
It's a Bible story in Genesis, I think.
Adam and Eve.
You sure it's not Gideon and the fleece?
Nope.
No. The blankets aren't like the thing. It's
Be
just
quiet, Patrick. Don't talk.
Hmm.
I don't even know anymore. It's up to you.
What was it?
Are we done?
We got 2 more minutes.
Yeah, I don't know.
It is in Genesis 7. It starts.
All right, hold on.
Giving you guys lots of hints.
I don't have a Bible near me.
Have I been doing pretty good?
I knew what you were doing.
Yeah.
You
The
told
Ark?
What?
I mean, I
Noah's
guess we were-
Ark?
Yeah, it's about Noah's Ark, but what's the overall
the waves.
theme? Waves, yep.
The water crashing over the boat.
Okay.
Alright.
What's the overarching theme?
A flood.
Yes.
Yeah.
The flood. Okay.
Okay.
All right, the next one is easier, I think.
Who's it going to?
It's going to Regan.
Okay, hold on. I'm in my bed right now, so
All right. So I think I sent it to you.
let's
So
see.
just because I'm, whatever, challenged. How do I find the private message on it?
So if you pull your screen down, you'll see where it says chat. It'll light up, and you'll hit that, and it'll light up. You just click on the chat button, and it'll be a message to you.
Oh, okay.
I don't see a chat button. Oh, okay.
All right, here she goes, and you have 5 minutes starting now.
David and Goliath.
Okay, yeah.
Got it.
Well done.
That was easy.
Well done. I'm a D. Oh, here's a good one. I'm gonna give this to Enzo because I think it's kind of easy, and he needs an easy one. All right, Enzo, it's coming to you. In 1, 2, and now it's to you. You have 5 minutes starting now.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
The cross.
3. Cross.
Jesus on the cross.
Jesus on the cross. You got it.
Okay.
You got it. You got it. Mama D, are you ready for yours?
If I can figure out how to get it.
All right. You should see something lit up down at the bottom of your screen.
No.
Okay.
It's like a little
Hold on.
messaging box, and it should say "won by it."
Are
It
you
says participants.
are you on a phone?
Yeah.
Let
Hold
me.
on. Let me get my daughter. She can help me.
Okay.
Then click the participants button and then go
I
to
don't
Tim.
see. Julie, help me. He sent me a private message in this chat, and I don't know how to get to it. Hey.
Hey.
Hold on. What is going on here? Oh, a private chat. Chat 1. Okay. Gee, thanks, Tim.
Yep.
Oh, I can use props, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay, here we go. I don't know
Is
how
that
to do
when
this.
Jesus fed the whole bunch of people or no?
No.
No, when the boy gave everyone the loaf of bread and the fish.
No?
No. I don't know how to do this one.
Peter
trying to
fishing?
find- Huh?
Peter fishing?
No. I don't know how to do this. I know the story real well, but I don't know how to act it out.
Dang.
Especially since it's just me.
That's right. It's gonna be hard. Mama D.
What?
Well, maybe you can cooperate with Tim.
Jonah and the whale.
There you go.
There it is.
Do a thing.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna do one, but I gotta grab some stuff for the prop.
That was hard, Tim.
That was hard. Hold on.
How do you get swallowed by a whale? Or a big fish?
You go like this, and you go chomp, 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 and you go.
Oh, that would have been
I
a good
don't know.
idea. That would have worked.
Okay, I'm almost there, guys. I gotta grab my prop.
Uh-oh. I can't see your prop.
Yeah, because I turned my
It's a
camera
trumpet.
off. All right. Can you guys see my prop? Hard to see with my
Gabriel.
Trumpet.
Gabriel blows the trumpet.
Gabriel blows the trumpet. All right. So we played our game. How about you sit back down here? I go, Regan, how are you feeling today?
I am feeling adventurous.
Woo! Awesome. And what is your goal for the rest of the week?
To go on a bike ride each day.
Ooh, how can we help you with that?
Pray that I make it up the hills.
Okay, can do that. What's God been telling you?
Stay calm.
Stay calm. Okay, good. And go to your right.
My right is Patrick.
Hi.
Hi. How are you feeling today?
Fabulous.
What are your goals for this week?
To prepare for school next week.
How can we help you with that?
I'm not sure. Pray.
What's God been telling you?
Stay calm.
Stay calm.
Yeah.
2 of those.
Okay.
To your right.
Okay.
Okay, let's tilt my screen to the side. Tim,
Yes.
how are you feeling?
I am feeling very minion-y right now.
Nice.
What is that?
See my minions, Enzo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are your goals for the week?
Well, in minion speak, it's and in normal speak, it would be making sure that these online classes are going super swell.
Oh, okay. How can we help you with that?
Oh, just pray that there's no technology issues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's God been telling you?
That the only certain thing in life is me. As in God, not me, as in your pastor. All right. To my right would be Regan, then Enzo, then Patrick, so Mama D. You're next. How you
Okay.
feeling?
Tired.
Tired. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your goal for the week? To sleep?
No, to get stuff organized around here because it's getting closer and closer to Jaylee and Will actually getting to move out. So
Oh, okay. Cool. How can we help you with that?
pray that I have energy and motivation to do it.
All right. We can do that.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's everyone, right? Nope. Enzo
What about-
hasn't gone.
Wait. What about
Enzo.
what's God telling me?
Oh yeah, what's God telling you?
Well, this is what he told me this morning.
Okay.
Don't fret about anything, no matter how little or big you think it is, but rather live by this. Don't worry, be happy, for I have overcome the world, and I know how it all turns out in the end. For I see the big picture, and I love you, and I have only the best things in store for you. So just look to me when you are starting to feel the stress of this life creeping in and making you worry. I will give you my joy, peace, and comfort to get you through any and all situations you face. I love you, and I'm here 24/7. Just seek me out day or night. I'll be waiting.
Nice. That's perfect.
Okay, so now it's Enzo.
Yep.
Enzo, how are you
Hi.
feeling today?
I'm feeling a little bit tired because we just went a bike riding and we helped clean our bounty today.
Mm. So what is your goal for this week?
Finish my calculus semester, like all this work that is due this Friday, and start a new semester.
Wow. How can we help you with that?
Keep on praying for
Okay.
me. Thank you.
Don't ask me to help you with calculus because I couldn't do that. And what is God been telling you?
It's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good.
I think that's all of us.
All right, so we're gonna go back on to and do the third installment of Shaken, but there's a little lead up to this one. So if I say the word church, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Worship.
Worship. Enzo,
Fellowship.
what's that? Fellowship?
Fellowship.
Yeah, that's good.
Jesus.
Jesus, good. Anybody else?
Patrick.
What?
When you think of church, what comes to mind first?
Probably my dad, to be honest.
Okay, that's good. So if you were to tell one of your friends that maybe don't go to church and you were just to ask them, hey, what's the first thing that comes to your mind if I say church? What do you think it would be?
No.
No. What do you think a non-believer would think if you said, hey, do you want to come to my church? What do you think they think the word church means?
Religiosity.
Religion, yeah. I think if I were to ask some of my non-Christian friends to come to my church, they'll probably think about coming to my building, right? My church building,
Yeah.
right? Place that they go on. So this whole thing is kind of talking about, other people matter. And church is not a four-walled structure where people dress up and spend an hour or two once a week, right? It's a body of believers. So that's why other people matter, because other people are bodies of believers, right? We're all
Yeah.
part of the body. We are the church. And God designed us to be in relationship with him and then with others. One of the ways that we actually live church every day is by being in relationship with people. It's about connecting with others. It's about inspiring them. It's about challenging them. And they do the same for us. We need to have friends in our lives who are going to have our back, who are going to support us and share the truth in love. We need friends who can carry us when we're weak, friends that we can count on. And this is a verse that I took out of it. It's Ecclesiastes 4, verse 12. And it says, and if one can overpower him who is alone, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly torn apart. And that's God's reminder that we're not meant to do life alone. That when things happen, when we surround ourselves with people who inspire and challenge us in life and in our faith, we learn how to live in this uniqueness with which God creates us. And instead of wanting to be like everyone else, we can make the most of what God gave us. We can have courage to even use the things that make us stand out in the crowd in ways that can impact others. We can begin to live at our best. There's an old Swedish proverb that goes like, shared joy is a double joy, shared sorrow is half a sorrow. What do you all value most in your friendships with others, and why? So what do you value in your friends and others? You're on mute, Enzo.
Oops.
There you go.
Got it. So, could you please repeat your question?
Yeah, what do you value most in your friendships with others, and why?
So it's kind of like their good personalities.
Yeah.
Like, well, like if I make friends, like my friends needs to be at least be nice to their parents first, and be honest. Be integrate.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. What about you, Regan?
There's probably multiple that I value most, like loyalty and they're like how kind they are.
Okay. Loyalty and kindness. Mama D, what about you?
Loyalty is a good one, but that they do what they say they're gonna do, that they stick to their word.
Okay.
And yeah, because we've experienced people that say one thing and do another, and can cause a lot of pain.
Yes, it can. Yes, it can. All right, last person, Patrick.
I value loyalty and kindness.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Whoops, I'm on the wrong thing now. There we go. All right, so we're going to watch a video. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to turn it up this time. Boom. Share. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, here it comes. Please mute yourself.
When I was 15 years old, I went on my first mission trip, and it was to the Philippines. And on this mission trip, we did so many amazing things. We went to hospitals, orphanages, prisons, marketplaces. We were able to share the gospel with so many people, and it was an amazing trip. But it wasn't until the end of the trip, the third week, when I was in a very, very remote jungle in a remote island, and finally we get to this remote village. We're walking into the village, and everything and everyone stopped. They start following us. They're coming up to us. They're grabbing our hands. They want to touch our skin, especially any of the girls with blonde hair. They couldn't believe it. This blonde hair, this is crazy. What we realized is this village had never had visitors before. They had never seen Americans. They had never seen visitors. We get to the local high school and everybody gathers there. The mayor and everybody comes to the local high school to hear what the Americans have to say. There are about 1,200 people, and this is my opportunity to get up and share the good news of the gospel. And so I stand up and I'm getting ready to preach. And I see 3 boys in the back right corner turn and start to walk away. See, this was shocking to me because row 1 was pretty much on my feet and I could touch row 7. That's how close everybody was. They were trying to get as close to the Americans as they possibly could. So the whole time I'm preaching, I'm thinking about these 3 boys. Why did they leave? I finish up and so many people pray with me to trust in Jesus. And afterwards, people are hugging me and shaking my hand. But I had to get away. I had to go see where these 3 boys went. So finally, I'm able to break away from the crowd. And I walk around the right side of the school and I get around the corner and I see in the distance, there's this little tiny bamboo hut. I see one of the 3 boys crawl out from underneath it and come walking towards me. I go walking towards him and I try to say hi and he says nothing. He just grabs me by 2 of my fingers and he pulls me to the bamboo hut. He crawls in and I crawl in after him, and when I'm inside I see the other 2 boys. And at first it looks like everything was okay. One of the boys is laying on a bamboo cot and the other one is sitting there holding his hand, rubbing it like this. Then I start to look at the bamboo cot and then I see his legs, and I see that his legs were on backwards. And for me, it was the first time that I had ever seen anything like that. And it was very emotional, and I was taken back a little bit. But I walk up and I sit on the ground right beside them, and I start to talk to these 3 boys. It was an awesome conversation, and they were so amazing. But the whole time we were talking, I had to ask, why did you leave? The boy laying on the cot, his name's Sherwin, said, Sherwin, why did you leave? He said, Timmy, our principal really wants to impress the Americans. And she told me that I am not very impressive. And when he told me this, it absolutely broke my heart, because this is the kid that we're fighting for. This is the kid that needs to be on the front row. This is the kid that needs to be loved and cared for and supported. But his principal's telling him that he's not worthy. He's not worthy to see the Americans. He's not impressive. Some of my teammates come and they say, Timmy, we got a long way to travel. We gotta go. We really gotta go. And Sherwin looks at me and he says, well, you at least carry me to the Jeep. I said, of course I would. So we finally get back to the Jeep, and I set Sherwin down over the arms of his 2 friends, and I get on my knees and I pray with these 3 boys, and they put their trust in Jesus. And I look at Sherwin and I say, Sherwin, I can't wait to see you in heaven. And he looks at me and says, Kuya Timmy, which means brother Timmy, I can't wait to run with you in heaven. And it's amazing what instant faith can do, because this is a boy who has never walked a day in his life. But yet that faith says, Kuya Timmy, I can't wait to run with you in heaven. And that made such an impact on my life. And as I was saying bye to these 3 boys, I was crying, they were crying. Then I started to think about his 2 friends and the impact that they had on me. I started to think, would I be willing to sit out if I had a sick friend from the biggest event that ever happened in my village, in my hometown, in my community? Would I be willing? Probably not. When I was his age, if I had a friend that was sick, I would be like, hey man, God bless, hope you feel better. Later. But these 2 friends, no matter what happened, they weren't going to leave Sherwin's side. And that's when I started to think, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to play sports as long as I can, but that's just for a time. What I want to do with my life is fight for people like Sherwin. That's why my mission statement for my foundation is what it is, to bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need. We came up with that statement with Sherwin in mind. We want to fight for people that can't fight for themselves. So when there's someone hurting, there's one person that is sitting there holding his hand, and the other person is going out getting help, like Sherwin's friends did. And it was so convicting to me. Could I be that friend? Would I stick by my friends? No matter what was happening, no matter what was going on, could I be that friend? Would I be that friend? And let me tell you this, we need friends that are going to stick by our side. We need friends, because iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. We need people to stick by us. Let me encourage you, find people in your life that no matter what, they're going to stick by your side. They're going to share truth with you. They're going to share grace with you. They're going to love you. They're going to always have your back, just like Sherwin's friends. One thing that I love about Sherwin's 2 friends is that they weren't worried about being normal. They weren't worried about fitting in. They had a purpose and a passion, and that was for their friend Sherwin. You know, so many times I feel like we just want to fit in. We want everybody to like us, and we just want to be like everybody else. But you know what that makes us if we're like everybody else? It makes us normal. It makes us average. And I don't believe that we were ever called to be normal or average. So don't worry about fitting in. If anything, when you fit in with everybody else, then you're missing out. You're missing out on having a chance to do something special, because we only have a chance to do something special if we're different than everybody else. If we go with the flow and we're just like everybody else, you know what that makes us? Just like everybody else. So I encourage you, be like Sherwin's friend. If you have a purpose, if you have a passion, then go all out. It doesn't matter what everybody's going to say about you, because at least if you stand out, you at least have a chance to be special. You know, when we were playing the Steelers in the playoffs, we were getting ready for the best defense in the NFL that year, and there were a lot of great players. But there was one player that you always have to have your eye on, and that was Troy Polamalu, one of the best safeties to ever play the game. He's one of the most violent, hard hitters in the NFL. So at the end of the game, we're running a zone read, and it is clutch time right now. And I'm running around the left edge. I make someone miss, and here we go. I'm going full speed, and it's me versus Troy Polamalu, one-on-one. Boom, we have a huge collision. Both of us are falling to the ground. I'm wearing a bracelet that a girl with cancer had just gave me before the game, and as I'm falling, he pulls it and breaks it. I'm expecting him to say probably something that I wouldn't repeat, especially now, but he just looks at me and says, "Oh, Timmy, I'm so sorry, but God bless you, man." Like, I couldn't believe this is one of the hardest hitting safeties of all time. But yet, he was so different. He wasn't normal. He set an example for me that, hey, you can be competitive. You can be a hard hitter, but you can also be extremely kind. You can treat people with respect, and you can be someone that carries yourself with class. And that had such an impact on my life. I thought, wow, if he can do it, I can do that. So guys, you never know the impact that you can have on people. But I'll tell you what, your impact will grow when you decide not to be normal, not to fit in, not to be like everybody else, but that you can be different. You can take a step. And that doesn't mean that you have to be a freak. It just means that you have to be willing to be a little different, to show a little courage, to show a little boldness. And you never know what God will do with that. You never know what He'll do with that in your life and through you. And I encourage you, find people in your life that are going to have your back no matter what. Because great friends, they're hard to come by, but they're special. They're special, and they get the best out of you. But let me also encourage you to do this. Be a great friend. Be a great friend. Let your friends know how much you love them and how much you care about them. Then you can share truth with them, and they can accept it. So let me encourage you. Find those friends and be that friend, because a true friend sticks closer than a brother. I hope you find those friends. God bless.
All right, there I am. I magically appeared. Did you see that? Wow, awesome. All right, so I love that. I was trying to annotate on the screen there. You probably couldn't read my handwriting, but it said set apart. I think that that's super important. And I have some Bible verses here that proves that, because when we are Christian, we are set apart. Leviticus 20:26 says, "You are to be holy to me, because I, the Lord God, am holy, and I have set you apart from the nations to be my own." And then again, we hear it in Jeremiah 1:5, where it says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations." And I think that's so important to what Tim was saying here, because God didn't create us to be normal. And it's okay. He set us apart to be different. He set us apart to be a Christian, means to be set apart. So it's okay to be different. It's okay not to fit in with the crowd. And when we're talking to our friends, the way to be the best friend to anybody that you could ever be is to be your Christian self, and to be set apart and be different and live your life different and speak life to your friends. That's the best way that you can be a friend. Never leave them in the dark, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he told a story. Tim told us a story about his first mission trip, and what an impact the friends of the disabled boy made on him. What was that friendship that he did? What was that friendship that that impacted him? What did they do?
They cared for him even though he was different.
Yeah. And if you remember, they left this huge event, this huge awesome event to be with their friend because he was told that he was
wasn't
not,
accepted.
yeah, he wasn't precious enough, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we need friends who are going to stick by our side, who share the truth and grace with us, right? And I think, you know, that little kid song we all grew up with in Sunday school, Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world, right? And I think that's really, I wished the principal would have told that kid that he is precious in God's sight. But instead, she wanted to make this big impression on the Americans that he had to go away when he was the one that needed to be healed. He was the one that needed the Americans and the pastors there.
The most, right?
Exactly. Was there a particular time when friends reached out and went above and beyond to show you their love and commitment, like Sherwin's friends did for him? Does anybody have an example of that? Anyone?
I do, but it's when we were at our other church and some of the leaders decided to get together and we needed to, and but we had to tell everybody we were leaving.
Oh,
And anyway, so during the worship service, Todd stood up and told everybody we were going to be gone, and then he sat back down, and pretty soon he had to get out and get some air, so he got up. When he got up and went out, about 75% of the church followed him out.
oh, wow.
So, and that church to this day still only has about 13 members now,
Oh, wow.
and it's still got the same guy there. So, but you know, so that was, you know, but the sad part about that is they stood with us. They were friends to us, but most of them are not attending church anywhere now.
Right.
So that's the sad part about it.
Yeah. Proverbs 13:20 offers us great advice, right? It says, he who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of a fool will suffer harm. So think about the friends that are around you. Which do you count on for encouragement, guidance, support, and when you need it the most? Or do you hang out with the fools? And do they make you a fool? What would you say, Patrick?
Repeat the question.
Yes, I will. Which do you think about the friends that are around you? Are they a wise friend or are they fools? And which one do you count on for encouragement, guidance, and support?
I think it's somewhere in the middle because they're really nice, but they're not stupid,
Okay.
and they're encouraging every now and then.
Every now and then.
Well, a lot of the time.
Okay.
Like my friend Maxwell and my best friend Carter from preschool are really the two.
Okay.
They give you the most encouragement.
That's good. I know Carter. He should be on our Zoom. All right, good. What about you, Regan? I lost it.
My friends are probably like in between, kind of.
In between as well.
Well, like mostly not fools.
Not fools. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And then the two people I rely on most is probably my best friend Gabby and probably my best friend Caitlin.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask you guys another hard question here, and I'm going to go to Enzo with it. So in Proverbs 27:17, and it's the Bible verse that Tim Tebow used, and it says, "Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another." So my question is, spiritual and personal growth come when we're open to correction, willing to accept hard truths, and be able to appreciate another person's perspectives. Similarly, we must be just as willing to dish out hard truth and strengthen others in their faith when they need it. So I want you to, Enzo, I want you to think of a time someone in your life had that you had to speak the truth in love. Have you ever had to do that? Tell somebody that they're wrong, and do it in a way that was loving and caring and
Does it including like sometimes when my teacher or my friends make mistakes, I would like to help to correct them as the first time I can.
okay. Yeah, that works.
And sometimes they won't be really happy about it, but you know, I just don't want to see they are on a wrong way and go even farther, you know.
Right? Yep, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. What about you, Mama D? Have you ever had to tell someone how it is in love?
Um, I kind of did. It was way back. It was our youth pastor at the time at our other church. He was like 18 or 19, but there was this one gal that was like head over heels for him, and he kept teasing her and stuff, and I'm like, you need to stop that because she's thinking you're flirting with her.
Oh,
And so yeah, and so that didn't, he took it okay. She didn't like me for it because he quit teasing her,
no.
but yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, Patrick, tell me about a time where you corrected somebody so gently in love. Did I lose Patrick?
I don't know.
Patrick.
I think I lost him.
Patricio.
Oh, I lost him. Okay, we'll go to Regan. What about you, Regan?
Question.
Question is,
Patrick
tell me.
said, hold on a second, please.
Yep. All right. So Regan, the question is tell me about a time that you had to correct one of your friends, and you did it with love.
Oh, I don't know. I don't really correct.
You don't really correct? That's not good. I know of a time, but I'll let you think of it on your own. I'll come back to you. Think about a time where you corrected somebody that was your friend, and kind of told them that, hey, that's not the right way to be thinking. So you think about it, and I'm going to go to Patrick. Tell me about a time, Patrick.
My friend wasn't making the smartest decision, so I told him I literally said this. I said, with complete love and compassion, you're being stupid. You should stop that.
Okay. Well, that wasn't really lovingly, but I got you. You're being a dummy.
That's my way.
Okay. All right. That's blunt. That works. Regan, did you think of a time?
Well, when we were on the bus and one of my friends was talking like bad about my church,
Yep.
and then I said, "Be quiet, please. No one asked you to talk about that."
Okay. Yep. Good. And you guys are still friends though now, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she took my advice.
That's good. That's good. It works. And that's how we're really friends. When we see someone saying something that's not right or righteous, then we need to correct them in that way. All right. One more question here. What's the difference between how we see ourselves and how God sees us?
Some people, we might think like we're the perfect person, but then God might be like, "Okay, you might want to rethink what you just thought."
Okay.
I actually go from the other end of it. I never think I measure up. So
That's true. I think it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah.
Like the Pharisees back when in
Yeah.
Jesus' time thought they were all about it, right? They
Yeah.
were they were too legit, and Jesus was like, you don't even know. So yeah, I think I can see that side of it, and Mama D, I see that side too, where like you see these people, these new Christians that come in, or people that don't even come into the church because they're so afraid that they're not worthy of God's love because of their past.
Yeah.
So I can see it both ways. And I guess, I don't know which one I'd rather be. I think I'd rather be the person who doesn't know his worth than someone who is all about it.
Well, for me, a lot of times those that think that they have it all figured out, they're the ones that can get off track easier because they don't think that they can get off track because they're perfect. Whereas those of us that don't think we measure up, we try to toe the line all the time to make sure that we're on the right track.
Exactly.
So,
I agree with that. Okay, so
uh-oh, my phone's gonna die.
all right. Well, if we lose you, we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up.
Okay,
Okay.
I got a cord right here, so I'm plugging it in.
Perfect. How can you starting at this moment right now, begin to appreciate your uniqueness and stand out for Jesus? Is that difficult or easy?
It used to be really difficult for me. I was always worried that I wasn't doing enough or what was right. But as I've learned things, it's easier to share my faith and what I know because I study a lot.
Right.
But if I don't know the answer to something, I won't tell them something that they want to hear. I will say, hey, let me find out.
Yeah.
And before I just, blurt out something just to say something.
Exactly. How about you, Patrick?
Repeat the question again.
Yeah.
Read the cat's finger butt.
Oh yeah. So, first question is how can you starting today begin to appreciate your uniqueness and stand out for Jesus? And tell me if you think that's going to be easy or hard.
Hard.
Hard. Okay. And so, what can you do to stand out, even though it's hard?
I already do stand out.
Yeah.
No one's really like me.
Yeah. How is no one like you in Christ?
In Christ,
Yeah.
not emotionally, thinkingly, and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. So how can you stand out and be the best Christian you can be at your school or in your community?
Reach out to people who are not
Yeah.
being smart.
That's it. Good. What about you, Regan? I hear her in must be Enzo's because she's muted.
You're muted.
How come we don't have her picture?
Regan.
There we
Hi.
go. Hey,
Yeah.
There
There
she
she is.
is.
What's the question again?
yeah. So, how can you, starting today, begin to appreciate your uniqueness and stand out for Jesus? And is that going to be easy or hard?
Well, I could share the gospel more, and it would probably be in between, like a little bit hard, but then it could be easy.
Yeah. I guess it would depend on who you're sharing the gospel with, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree. It can be difficult. What about you, Enzo?
I'm not sure, but in my opinion, it takes like your attention, it takes your time, it takes your patience. So I won't think that it will be easy, but maybe it will be difficult, but I believe it will be worth it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, we're gonna close it up here. So,
Real quick, I have something I want to share.
sure.
I got a phone call from a friend of mine. She used to come to church up here with us, but she moved to Tacoma, and she's helping to raise her grandkids. And they've been watching our church services for the last couple of weeks. And her grandson is 5, and he posed these 2 questions today. And so she called me wanting to know the answers.
Okay.
And so this 5-year-old little boy wants to know, and his name is Patrick, by the way. He wants to know, did Jesus ever get a spanking?
Okay.
Oh,
And did Jesus ever spank anyone?
I'm gonna say no.
I think,
That's what I said.
well, I don't know. I think on the latter half of the question, Jesus gave a spanking to the Pharisees at the temple,
Yes,
right?
he did. A
Um,
verbal spanking, not necessarily.
Verbal spanking, yeah. And I think also he probably was at least not punished, but not spanked, but he wandered off when he was just young to the temple.
Yeah.
And Mary was not a happy mama.
No.
She was not happy. It was one of those wait till your dad gets home type of moment,
oh no.
right? And Jesus said, "My Father's in heaven."
Yeah. So,
So-
and here's another cute little tidbit about them. The last couple Sundays we did communion. So they had communion for the first time in their home. And so he now calls it, he was eating God.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Could you say
Wow.
that again? You just like completely glitched out when you got to the good part.
Oh, he says when he takes, and he calls it chameleon, not communion.
Oh.
When he takes chameleon, he's eating God.
Oh my
That's awesome.
gosh.
I love kids, but it's true.
It is. If you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, he's eating God. All right. So I want to leave you with this reflection, okay? I want you to think about the friends that you go to for the advice, wisdom, and discernment when you have a tough decision to make. Who has your ear? Are you quick to listen to that person who tells you what you want to hear, or do you listen to the one who tells you the truth? And just reflect on whether or not you may need to rethink where you're getting your advice.
Yeah.
Because I think it's easier to have someone tell me what I want to hear. That's
feel
why I
like
hang.
that's-
What's
like
that?
That's with everyone.
Yeah, right. It's with everyone. That's why I hang out with people who tell me I'm awesome and I look great and
Yeah.
I'm super smart and everything I say is correct. So,
Like I want people to tell me what I want to hear. I
right?
also like want, but don't want people to tell me the truth.
Right.
I think it's that way with everybody.
Yeah, I
We'd like to hear what we want to hear, but we need to hear the truth.
We need to hear the truth. Exactly. All right. So next week, guys, it's going to be the same number, that 107 number or whatever. It's going to be exactly the same. I'll have it posted on the A.R.M.Y Facebook page, and I will text it. I'll text it to everyone too, I think. So it's going to be that 107 004 603.
Okay.
And Patrick, pray us out of here.
Oh no. Dear God, I pray everyone sleeps well tonight, and that give them a day that was better than today,
Mm.
and that if they drive anywhere, they don't get the coronavirus or get in any crashes because everyone's going super fast.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks
Amen.
for coming. I think we're going to do a Jeopardy game next week. Bible
Okay,
Jeopardy.
so where's
Wow.
Game.
where's
We'll
everyone
figure it
this
out.
week?
It is a Bible one, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of good at those ones. I'm not.
All right. Hey, and I challenge you guys to invite someone to our Zoom too. So invite somebody to Zoom.
Okay, I'll see if my friend has Zoom.
Okay.
I'll
All
try
right,
to get
guys.
Carter on.
What's that?
I'll try to get Carter on.
Yeah, get Carter on and Roman too.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Everyone have a great night.
You have a good night, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.